Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to DreamHack Open Valencia 2018. Hugo, time sure does fly, and so has the first map. So has the near second day. The entire event now coming into, of course, our elimination games. This one could be a 2-0, I think, as we move on to Dust 2. It's not a map that Virtus.pro have really played, historically speaking. It is a map that the French have always loved, and I do think that they're certainly going to have the edge as we move into their map choice.
Definitely. I mean, we've seen them recently on this map, you know, look all right. They had a very close loss versus Astralis on Dust 2 in overtime, and you know, that's a team that's just been unstoppable on that map. They took it away from Mouse Sports, again, like a very respectable team at the moment. Also at Cologne, you know, this has been fairly good for G2. So while they haven't got the most amount of maps played on it, they are certainly going to be more prepared than that of VP. I think we may see, as you alluded to, the defeat and the removal of Virtus.pro in this event, but I hope not. That being said, someone has to go from this game, and being a map up, G2 are definitely in the more comfortable of places. Yeah,
I think this is a situation. This is an unfortunate situation, just based on the sense that I don't think either of these teams would have been expected to be down here in the elimination game. Maybe one of them, I would argue. Well, one of them would have to be in the decider BO3. But if I had to be honest with you, I thought this group, right, Group B, was going to come in. I thought, unfortunately, Luminosity was going to fall flat. Yeah. I thought that we were going to have G2 soar forward with the 2-0, and I figured we might get Fragsters and Virtus.pro in that, you know, grudge match of a decider BO3. But Luminosity blew me out of the water. Welcome back, Lucas and Henny.
Yeah.
And now, well, this is the reality of the situation. Upsets aplenty on day one, and heartbreak coming in on day 2.
And we're not far away from the potential rematch of that opening game between G2 and Luminosity that Luminosity took away. Now that we know that Luminosity have the ability to you know, put form on land with this new roster, okay, now it's a real test. Can you do it twice, and also in a best of 3 where it's harder to upset when you are the underdogs? And I still think, even if that game does happen, despite them winning it, I still think they're the underdogs, right? In this game, we've seen all the stars come to life here for G2. We've had, you know, Kenny S hitting his shots. We've had Body getting massive rounds as well. Shox is looking great, and he's been a question mark as of late. So it's nice to see him looking pretty fantastic today. And if they can bring that into the game later, assuming they win this matchup, yeah, I'm banking on G2. But we're into map number 2, ladies and gentlemen. It is going to be the pick of the Frenchman, Dust 2, an old classic. Back in the map pool, and back to business will be G2. It's a fast short rush. Are we onto Mirage again?
Oh, we got shots downrange from Bialy. Does hit the mark. Shots drop to 68, but still the feet go past, and they're moving fast. They're going to find this A site near open for the taking unless Morels can do anything, but the flashbangs are just so good. The flashbangs from G2 have been fantastic, both on Mirage and now Dust already. They've just been pummeling them, but we'll see if the CTs can make this retake happen. They've already got themselves 2 kills quickly over towards the catwalk, where Shox now locks things down. Existence has found himself yet another, and Morels will tap the bomb. No kit on him, and he needs both of these frags. They're dodging shots, or trying to, but there you have it. Headshot is there for Shoxy. Little dance to seal the deal. Got ourselves the winner of the opening pistol.
Nothing too bad there for the side of G2. Nice fast short play, and VP, yeah, just not able to get their way up through short. The utility wasn't landing in the right place, at least, because G2 were very pushed up on short when they were holding onto the stairwell. Yes, the first player got flashed out, and I think Patches took that kill there, but past that, the flashes were going too high and too far. G2 were not pressured. So, oh my God. I already want a replay. Did he just jumping mid-air, running, shoot Kenny S in the face? I think he did.
Oh my God. That's not supposed to happen.
No. I want to see that again.
He can get himself another one, too. There is. Oh! Smith.
Hello.
Washer doing work. And Shox, well, he could have just sprung the trap of Neo. Existence will fall prey to this. And we are dealing with a 4 versus 2 with all of a sudden an AK thrown into the mix.
And we already saw so many pistol rounds and fourth buy rounds win for either team back on Mirage. This doesn't surprise me in the slightest.
Yeah, I'm expecting another war here. I want a back and forth type situation.
Give me that CZ B-Rush, G2.
The amount of times these guys have played each other as well, I think that's another layer going into it, right? Sometimes it's easy to lose to Fragsters because you're not quite sure what's going on. You don't necessarily know such young guns, obviously making names for themselves, so they should be on your radar. But but it's not like you know them like the back of your hand. Right now, we've got this cat presence from Shox. That's the bomb that cannot be afforded to drop. Another kill comes in off of body, and he's looking to pinch into the A site where he's going to find people on full display. Ah, but Morels. Oh no! Again, we get one of these situations that has just ultimately left Virtus Pro grasping at thin air. Because unless Neo can lock down the cross into this bomb site, then this is going to be a round for G2, but they have to rush right in. Neo's going to know that they need to prioritize the plant, and they have 10 seconds to do this. He could slip into them, but no. Body with eyes up shuts things down. And it is G2 with a round.
Oh, what a pullback as well. As unlucky for Morels, it's justified him not shooting early because he didn't want to shoot the legs and not get that guaranteed kill. This was the ridiculous jumping shot that Pasha found, and then even a follow-up. Still not good enough for a round, apparently. Obscene things here in Valencia are happening, Connor. Although G2 is still 2-0 up here with VP back down to pistols and mainly defaults. It's only Pasha investing, and I think he deserves a little prize for those shots, so he's going with a P250. Flashbang on Neo to set them up back into this A site, and Bialy with a quick double dink to take down Smiths.
I can't remember the last time I saw a jumping scout kill, let alone one on a cross-map dust too.
It's so hard to hit nowadays. You really need to hit it on the peak. And not only was he jumping, but he was moving to his left at the same time. I don't think the scout was even accurate then.
It's wizardry.
Absolute madness.
Obviously a quick conversion after the fact. Near unequipped Virtus Pro fumbles understandably. Well, G2 now have themselves a bit of a challenge ahead. It is guns in the hands of Virtus Pro. 5 M4s and plenty of grenades to play off of this. There is no AWP or scout this time to deal with Kenny S. Smith is going to assume control of the tunnels already. And they are going to use that 3-man core to just walk their way up mid. This has been quite a go-to for G2 so far. Mac-10 as the forerunner should be making first contact, but he's going to find Neo over towards ramp. And he could even fall to a more passive position, which would give footing to G2 here on A. Yeah,
one thing G2 really like to do on this map is go for these these short pushes where they drop into CT spawn with Existence and Smiths and like split down and chase up ramp. So watch it. I think they're going to do it right now. Yeah, they've already dropped into the spawn, and there we go. Already overwhelming Pasha. He has no idea where to look, and Existence gets taken down by Neo, who finds 2, but 2 is not enough to hold the bomb site. However, it has now made it doable for the retake if Shox wants to give them the opportunity, but he's already taken ahead.
And pulled G2 ahead by 1. Now equalized yet again. 2 over towards long A. He's going to get himself a chance at a kill, but poor Bialy. Swapping guns will cost him, and Kenny smells blood in the water. Another round for G2 as they start off strong. Good call, Hugo, on the drop down towards that A side.
They were running it a lot in Cologne, so I am... I got my knowledge, Connor. You know me. Yeah, so now VP losing that rifle round means pistols are out again. Familiar territory, really. We've got a lot of HE grenades and armor on Bialy, but goodbye.
Oh, Shox!
How is he alive?
I don't know. I do not know.
What's going on?
He may be alive, but he's certainly crippled. Fragmentation all in his legs. Because... All right.
What is going on?
It's okay. They're having a laugh,
a
goof and a gaff. But you'd hope that kills the last against G2 because you don't want any more losses.
Oh, they're in B. Well, that's the round over, if you couldn't guess. VP too far away from the madness. Oh, actually, no, they are exactly in the middle of the madness. Pasha's going to hunt for that AK, but... Nah, Shox is throwing it out of the map. Does not want VP to secure an extra rifle. And he is alone. He's got to be very careful. The flashbang is good, but it blinds everyone. Luckily, Existence has the cross. So Pasha, he gets the kill, but he can't go any further. Bialy can't hit his deegs. Teammates from G2 there in the 5th round. They're going to find this early lead. And now we have VP back on rifles. Hopefully, normality will restore.
Part of me was hoping Gunnar would queue up the frag grenades. The bombardment inside the doorway there.
I don't want to watch that again.
Must have been like, oh man, these odds.
I don't even blame them.
I feel like that's a little unfair.
I'm
not that one-sided yet, guys. It's 5-0. Let's all take a deep breath.
This is probably for the series as well, take into account. So they're a map up on top of that.
Still, it was in the teens, but We'll find out.
Yeah.
We'll find out. I'm not a gambling man. What do I know? Pasha robbed as Kenny S gets away on 3 HP. And now we're going to get this catwalk push off Mihu. He's definitely hunting an opening kill, but there's nobody actually here. Despite Virtus.pro just going for a 2-prong poke into middle, they find no resistance whatsoever other than in the form of utility. They spot not a single body, and they're probably wondering where the hell G2 have gotten off to.
Well, it's everywhere, all over the map. T-spawn, long, tunnels. G2 have a lot of map control here, and VP, they're trying to gain some of their own. Look at Mihu's push. He's all the way up the top of middle. Existence is waiting, but is he going to catch the timing? Oh, no! You hate to see it. That's always awkward. Luckily enough, Smiths is there to bail them out, so they will pull it back to the 4-on-4. But Miali getting aggressive in the tunnels. Not sure if that's justified. Again, the trades are still here as Smiths gets dropped, and 2 low players for G2. This could be bad.
Body could have spotted another one, but not really like he has the health to duel. This round's really going to fall on Shox. And he could punch his way into the A site unless Neo gets him right now. But it's actually Pasha towards mid, blowing out the brains of Body. Shox, he still hasn't been able to find this angle because Neo is just so reserved. He's been crouched and hiding away. That's still more HP shaved off of what remains of G2, which doesn't remain to be much. A USP headshot to seal the deal. After time is denied. And Pasha doesn't want to lose his op.
Oh, at least they get away with that AWP on Shox, but very, very close round there. A bit of a messy one as well. We saw so much weird aggression, like Bialy running through the tunnels for no reason. We saw that chase up mid from Mihu that did work out wonderfully, to be fair, in terms of getting 1 kill, but traded swiftly from Smiths in the tunnels. And of course, with G2 having a 5-0 lead initially, they have money to fall back on, so we can see this buy on the T side.
Quick little pause. Why not? It's existence.
Yeah, and you want to get this reset as well. Already, VP lost, what, 3 players in that last round?
Yep.
You win this round, and yeah, you're off to a 7-1, without a doubt. Maybe even further, actually. 8-1. Depends how VP choose to invest. And if they find anything from a force buy. But yeah, G2 are relishing the possibility here of getting this reset and pushing VP's economy back down in the dirt. Again, we've already talked about how many pistol rounds have been traded back and forth between these two, but I don't know about Dust 2. How prepared are VP is the question.
Pasha hunting again an opportunity for a mid duel. He's just waiting for somebody to step up here to Kenny S's left. Just as Pasha gets off the angle, that's when Kenny will peek it. Now he's anticipating a little bit of a lower lurk, and sure enough, Smiths is there. Hasn't fired off just yet, so Kenny doesn't realize whether or not there is an opper, and so he does walk into his death. Now, Pasha should know there's a second, and sure enough, Smiths will careen backwards. They've exchanged shots, both of these ops dropping the other into the 20s. And yet as we hit the minute mark, Pasha playing with death. Morales could just stampede outwards right now off of the shot of Smiths and then just retreat back into the 5v3. In the meantime, we do of course have Body trying to find an entry at the B site. Neo and Morals have been able to puncture their way into middle where they did drop bomb, but Existence is on damage control and Body drops another. That is so big because instantly we are even keel. 3 players apiece and the A site's open for the taking.
It looked like VP wanted to contest the bomb and try and keep control of it after they dropped it, but it was open in the territory of G2, so of course they move in and pull back the 5-on-3 to an even situation. Problem is, 20 seconds and VP have every man on the bomb side. Pasha not able to get that kill, and Body's opened up with Existence following in tow. It's only the CT man, and he's probably about to be gone. There it is from Shox. And dear, oh dear, how did VP lose that round? They had a 5-on-3, they dropped the bomb, they could have fallen back and fell into sight, but instead they try and contest, and it crumbles in like dust in their fingers.
Yeah, it's obvious. They tried to prioritize bomb control, and then that just had so many players out into the open, whereby G2 won some duels. And once we're into the 3v3, there was no positioning for Virtus.pro to get into the bomb site, and now Kenny S is plucking players out of middle. He found Bialy on the cross. It's gonna thin the numbers. Fantastic flashbang. Lines up Smiths, who then falls to Neo. Luckily, there's a third man in line, or else that would have been a gun for Neo to try and work with. But Bomb is still back towards spawn, so let's slow things down a little. If Body dies, things get weird.
Oh, no. That's a gun. No armor behind it, but still lethal. The problem is, look at G2's control. Look at Shox's control. In the CT spawn with the bomb joining him, no one there to stop it. Yes, we may have that quick flank from Morels coming up through Long, but I doubt this will be a plant for Long. More open for the CT spawn instead. Or at least a jumping shot from Shox possible. And Kenny is catching that rotate, so Morels' gun has been dropped to the ground. And Pasha probably not far off from joining him as well. This is a near undoable clutch, although timing doesn't get the better of Kenny. Little fun fact as well for you guys at home, this is the second time that VP have played Dust 2 on LAN since January 2017. The recent, at least attempt at playing this was versus Na'Vi at the CAC in China recently. They got a 16-3 win, VP.
Yeah, I remember when that happened.
Yeah, that was weird. And
but
so this is their second game since.
I was going to say, mind you, you're playing against Na'Vi on Dust 2.
Yeah.
So it's like VP versus Na'Vi Dust 2. How often, I wonder how many times that's actually happened in the history of Counter-Strike.
Probably very little.
Yeah. So, unfortunately for Virtus Pro, having to grit their teeth because it is pistols for them and guns for G2. And I can just feel the confidence of G2 radiating off these players right now. Flashbang up high. Shox doesn't want to die, but he's at least serving as a distraction. The longer he takes to go down, the more likely it is his teammates can get elsewhere. But at the same time, they're going to get a weapon and still have some footing towards this A site.
Existence ran forward to throw that Molotov deep towards a dumpster, but he actually pushed into the door, and therefore it upset his trajectory to the right. That's why that Molotov missed. Bit of an upset, and talk about this round is an upset. Now we have a man advantage up for the Polish and a gun gifted to Bialy. Problem is map control. Again, same as the previous round. They may have had an opportunity, but it's the map control that they lack. However, they may be able to pick up Body here. Alone, and yeah, straight gone. That's another gun for Mihu. And even though the plant can come in from Existence, he's going to need to show he's not just the brains, he's also the brawn.
Jumps down, tries to isolate, fights right away, but he's already taking damage, and down he goes. Because Existence isn't able to get that Molotov deep out of the door, it's for that reason Bialy can so quickly retrieve an AK-47, and then look what he does. Doubles back to the bomb site, denies the short push, and while the bomb plant still comes in, that is all made possible by the fact that Bialy gets his hands on a gun. And this was nice shooting.
Very, very good job. Especially considering he didn't have armor behind that as well. Playing the headshot angle in pit.
Three times headshot once he gets the AK.
Well, VP may have a chance after all. Again, it's still a pretty sizable lead for G2 right now, but it's got to start somewhere. So second round taken for the Polish team. Money behind this one as well after winning just an eco round where they were already saving $2,000 to $3,000 per player. But if you want to talk about money, G2 aren't going to have a trouble buying here. They'll be able to come in again with a full buy after this next tactical pause. Again, continuing, even in the second map, even 7-2 up, to frequently use their tactical pauses, and that's something I really respect.
I think it's a sign of a mature roster.
Yeah.
Nothing through the smoke for Kenny. Pasha's going to position himself to the right of it and try to find some kind of an angle here to work. But already G2, I mean, they have been keeping up such a consistent tempo. And then Kenny does best Pasha. So the op hits the dirt. Man advantage hits the hands of G2, and they have bomb to just walk up cat. Like we talked about, right? This is something they love to do. Just that cat to A play. It's been the majority of their executions in this half. Difference being as well, so there's no op to hold them back anymore. Such a powerful position to play an AWP here towards these corners, especially when you have long control on top of it, which is entirely in the hands of VP. Because the only thing that G2 have used this round is a tidbit of mid control.
Yeah, talk about long control, there's none. So Neo is not only focused with taking short, but also long. He's very exposed. He's just risking it and hoping that he catches good timing. This is just a ballsy play from VP to actually commit to this heavy B setup when we've barely seen any B site rounds. But Connor, it might just be the right call to make, because now G2 sending the bomb in through the tunnels and a couple of players to pressure middle. Mihu can even cut off this as well. The Molotov just going to avoid him, and he's got a bit of a top of the smoke, but he's fallen into it. He's burning alive, and he's been shot through the smoke. It's Bialy to try and hold onto the site, and he does drop the bomb, converting for 2. Bialy trying to find the third, but he does eventually fall alongside Kenny. It's only Shox left up on the flank, and with 20 seconds left, he's got to make a hero play.
He needs to get the bomb, but look where it is. It's on top of the boxes, so this is going to buy time. 10 seconds left. Shox can't find it. He's panicking now, and he's going to go for the kill instead. He's going to go for the kill instead, and he's denied by Neo. Virtus Pro with a third. The bomb was up top, Hugo. What's it doing there?
Oh, even if he got it as well, if he went for that plant, there's a very good chance Neo would have just pushed in through the door and stopped him in his tracks. That is such a mess from G2. Bomb, obviously not even their fault in that sense. Bomb trajectory is so random when a player gets killed. It can go anywhere, Connor. As G2 have now learnt the hard way. Bialy doing some fantastic defense there up on the site. And I think even with all of these recent changes from VP and all the ups and downs going on, it has been Bialy, been one of the few players who's actually been keeping himself at the top of the team. I think he definitely had his dark time where he was struggling to perform, but I would say honestly he's one of, if not the best player still on this roster myself.
Yeah, I feel like he has kind of re-emerged because he definitely did fall off when Virtus Pro took that bit of a plummet.
I mean, again, it's like he's been bottom and top of the team, the same way that VP have been bottom and top of the world.
Yeah, that's very true. That's a good anecdote there.
Well, after that mess of around, I don't blame it, Paws. Everyone needs to chill out.
Yeah, that's just one of those wild moments, right? I'm sure if we had access to TeamSpeak, that's when things get really chaotic.
Yeah, I don't speak Polish, but I could probably decipher a few things in there.
What about French? Because I'm sure Shox is pissed.
Maybe you can do some translating.
It's such a robbery. But we'll see if they can work their way back into this with what is a double deagle buy. And already we say goodbye to Mihu, the first casualty of the situation. And this is going to pull the attention of the two A players over towards Long. No, never mind. They do decide to split. But that's going to put the heat onto Pasha. He's going to have a lot of players trickling past, and the timing, now they're already out, and he's blind. He's been dinked up to 26. He's going to have to just go and try to find cover, but now he's walking into Shoxy, who does fall to Neo, sure. And the other CTs, they're already coming so quickly up back onto this rotate. They're trying to get the retake rolling before everybody's ready. And now Body just goes parading down the Goomba stomp, and Neo's left up. He gets the headshot to Kenny, sure, but there's still so many players to take down, and he would have to cross in the open. No smoke, no flash, 30 points of health. He's done for.
G2 with nothing in that round, and that is a nightmare round for Pasha. Not only is he caught by timing, but the gap in the smoke allows Shoxy to finish him off with the M4. The flash here that allowed Mihu to push in just went behind Shox as well. You can see that, and even the follow-up kill. That is a nightmare for VP. An absolute beating. And with almost default pistols, in fact 2 Glocks in that round, G2 are going to make a mockery of VP and put them down to USPs. 8-3 now. The opportunity for the Polish to claw their way back in this first half has at least shrunk sizably.
See the bomb floating back towards spawn. They did have an initial setup over towards the B site, which would have been completely free for the taking. Now things are going to get a little freaky. Kenny S takes the forefront, obviously with that MAC-10. We've got Pasha, who probably shouldn't reveal himself.
Oh no.
Off of the flash, they're going to go. Pasha's position does get checked. Kenny S, despite being on 4 HP, is able to get himself a double. Existence here to trade things out, and now it is a slaughterhouse. Like lambs, they fall. Still VP just with 3. This T-side's just too much.
Yeah. It's just a powerhouse, but this time, not the Polish powerhouse, just G2. They are running over this game. And, I mean, while Mirage was close, obviously a map the VP are tenured on, they're very experienced. Dust 2 is a very different story, and we are learning that the hard way. They certainly are. 9-3 down. No signs of life, really, from VP. Every time they've had an opportunity, G2 have shut it out. like with that full eco win just a couple of rounds prior. VP, they need this rifle round, but Connor, look at what they have to play with. 4 players with not a shred of utility, not a kit, not head armor, and there's 3 M4s on this T side. G2 are playing on the wrong half. So actually, this lack of helmets is going to come back to haunt VP. That's without a shadow of a doubt.
Unless they can just manage to somehow clean sweep this one. It's not any easy feat, especially if we go off of what we've already seen, which has just been G2 a step above and beyond. Currently, Neo taking damage over towards Long. Still alive, sure. But blind on top of it. He's just taken a beating, and he hasn't even seen anybody yet.
I'm so surprised he doesn't shoot there as well, because Pasha wasn't even posted on Long. Like, he had no support at all, and he still just holds his nerve. So fair play to Neo there, not giving away his position, but Bialy will. Peeking up into Kenny. That's the end of his story, and Kenny doubles it.
Looking for the trio, but there's nobody quite there. It's going to be Virtus Protocol, the save already. As they move into the 14th, they want to keep up all 3 of these guns. Hot damn, G2. I understand why you picked us to. Kenny S and Shoxy show.
And that's what we want from this team as well. While it's great to see other players step up, you know, Existence coming into his own, Smith having a great, you know, tournament in Cologne when a lot of people doubted him. At the end of the day, any fan of G2 wants Shox and Kenny at the top of the board every single time. And
hell yeah.
That's exactly what we're getting right now.
Ooh, despite the dink, Shox is still alive. I feel like he's just dodged death so many times this half already. Whether it be a bombardment of grenades or now headshots aplenty, Shox still stands. This was poor Bialy, right? Kenny, what's wild here is you can't really tell in the replay, but Kenny S had literally just posted on that angle. He had just gotten there, and it was at that same instant that poor old Bialy goes for a little bit too much. So the result of this, of course, is the 2 guns saved will still be here in the hands of Virtus Pro, but not much more invested after. And Mihu going on a bit of an expedition. Was he just shot in the back by a teammate?
Yeah, I think so. Oh. That was a deagle, yeah. Bialy shot him. Oh, and that gave away his position, because you're going to hear the impact of that. But not only that, the shot of the deagle is probably the clearest noise. And so G2, luckily going to avoid it for their own sake. Mihu, I think he's going to be thankful he's still alive in this round. He does back off towards the site, and we have 4 players here on A. Question is, with pistols on 3, will it be enough?
Whoa. There we go. Body. Little bald head was revealed, and well, Neo's just going to run in and blast one back with a pistol. Now, Existence is not going to commit to the kill because he'd rather secure the bomb site. We've got that wall of smokes now down for the bomb itself to get into this, but Existence needs to hold down the cap push, and he can't because Bialy's just blowing brains out. Morals even with a deagle. The dirty double deeg as Kenny S gets himself the first frag in what would be a 1v5. Fake plant and a second. Kenny S, what are you made of? Because you have no utility and 52 points of health. What was a chance at another kill? This could have just been cut down to the 1v1, and yet Kenny S still stands. That was way too close. A very real chance at a 1v5, but Virtus Pro will add another to the board.
And that's an eco win. Again, still happening, Connor. It's so consistent. We've had G2 on an eco just a couple of rounds ago. Now VP throw it back in their face with the deagles. And some great shots as well coming out, denying both ramp players trying to commit to that A site. And somehow VP will pick up a round. They will take what they can get here, hunting for scraps, for crumbs under the table. 4 here in their first half. And hoping for a 5th. They got the money to go for it, but G2 are calling in a pause. Again, want to make sure they can round up this half with a whole 11. That would be fantastic. Throw in a pistol as well, and the game's probably done, so it's all on this. At least for the final round of the half, we will have 2 very well-equipped teams, the fairest of fights.
Which is always what you'd hope for. Especially in what was a very good first map, so we'll see if there's...
Oh my.
Classic.
Yeah. Full fanatic. No one there though. VP They know it's the last round of the half. They send a solo B player, and I respect that.
They're going for the fast cat instead. It's a very slow fast cat. Only now the second player gets up into position, and this has left Pasha all alone for the time being. Dangerously close was that shot. Careened off the barrel in front of Kenny's eyes. Kenny cannot be scared off of this position. Lots of flashbangs yet again. I do have flashbacks to the round where Virtus.pro tried to play bomb control on middle and they all just died. Well, right now, the first is down. The second could follow suit because Kenny's going to give chase. But he knows better than to continue on. Although Pasha, with a guardian angel over the shoulder, survives at 14.
Look at the bomb. Smith's is just running up to the A bomb site here. He's just trying to commit towards it as Body draws rotations towards B. It's a complete fake. VP are shuffling him one by one, filing into this round and finding nothing from it. Pasha's going to get caught from behind as the mid-split eventually comes through. And in fact, while they had A for the taking, VP completely given up on it earlier in the round. G2, they take the bomb towards B and they find every kill before it even gets planted. A nice final round to finish off the half. 11 on their T side, looking fantastic on Dust 2. And VP, they need this pistol.
Sometimes I forget how good of an entry fragger Body is.
Yeah.
He just walks into that B bomb site and pops noggins. Hot damn. 11-4 on this T side. There was chances for Virtus.pro though. I think back, I'm thinking maybe 2 or 3 more rounds that they had very real stake in. I'd say the most notable would have been again when they had bomb control at the bottom of the boxes, 5v3. That was a crucial momentum shift.
And if we look at the rounds that VP have actually had, they had the 6th round, they got reset. They had the 9th and 10th, got reset. And then they had, well, second last of the half, they got reset, but that doesn't really matter because obviously end of the half. So every round VP really got was almost instantly reset. They got 2 in a row, but they didn't build up any money off the back of that. So yeah, economy issues plagued VP that entire first half, but that's down to G2 shutting them down. And even when VP won a couple in a row and put G2 to eco, they still managed to win it. So yeah, the stars are aligning here for the Frenchmen, and they are looking to go one step further here with a pistol round. We've got VP with some utility, a fight down middle early on, but Pasha needs to be careful. He does not want to lose that smoke and flash.
Double flashbang over long is what the bomb will use to get its way out. Body's going to feel the pressure here from multiple directions. He cannot afford to be blindsided, or else all of a sudden the 2 players of G2 on the A bomb site, well, they're going to have to keep their eyes and heads on a swivel. Whereas if Body can keep himself alive here, they can just fixate all of their attention towards long, where there is most certainly a realer threat. In fact, Kenny S is about to find out the hard way. A lot of players rounding that corner, and he's going to pop the first one at a distance. But in the meantime, Morales is going to apply pressure here. It's Shoxy. It's Shoxy with 2 headshots already. Bialy finally responds back with one of his own, but he's not being able to cross, and that's going to be problematic. So he needs Mihu to help him out here. Oh, there you go. There you go.
What has happened there, Bialy? 4 kills? Shrugging your shoulders, Connor? I have no idea either. That was fantastic, but...
Why not?
Yeah, that'll do it.
Just a quick 4 frags. 4K in the pistol.
And that's going to put VP in the spot they needed. They needed that round. This game was probably over without it. That fadeaway shot from Bialy, fantastic. He's just on a deathmatch server where everyone's respawning, and he's just doing 180s and killing a player and just 180ing. It's... wow. If that's me, I'm getting shot in the back of the head every single time. But VP, they've now got themselves some guns to play with. Obviously, G2 a couple themselves, but it's mainly pistols and actually a man advantage taken. Why are they running through the smoke? They're running to their death. Kenny's going to find a second, and there's a third from Shox. VP are feeding themselves to G2.
Now Morales is trying to make the most of this. He's trying to extend his way out. Whoa, again a duel. Oh, and a headshot comes out off the top of it. There goes Kenny. Pasha's able to trade straight back, but now Pasha, oh no!
What was he doing? He dropped his pistol, and he was looking for it. I guess he was checking elevator.
Yeah, I was gonna say I want to assume that he was just checking elevator.
But yeah, I mean that is just VP.
Regardless, running through smokes.
Yeah, that is awful. That is absolutely awful.
I understand you're trying to contain weapons there, but man, let the smoke fade. Just let the smoke fade.
Yeah, they obviously didn't know there was a stack there from G2, which makes all the difference.
You don't need to run out of smoke when you have a player behind blue box, right? Yeah. He can hold on to the guns for just maybe another 20 seconds. And now Kenny S is making the most of this opportunity as he just blasts back the heads of two. Neo and Mihu deleted early on. That's got to sting, Nico. That has got to sting. You win the pistol thanks to Bialy's single-handed 4K. And regardless of that pistol win, you are still pushed back.
Well, we've got 2 up here for VP. A last-ditch attempt in round number 18, but it's not looking too bright for them right now. They do have the A site open as Kenny S is focused on middle. We've got 2 players waiting on B for a potential B play. We've seen nothing on B this entire game. Like 1 or 2 rounds have actually ended up there. But Kenny is going to be alone and trialed. The timing, he just makes his way to the site, but he jumps into the scout shot of Pasha, who now has opened up the A bomb site. Yes, there's a quick flank from short, but if they go for a safe plant here, and they do, this is an opportunity now for VP. Albeit very, very limited and slim, but they have a chance to win the round. First player spotted on short, and the smoke will cut him off. How will G2 do this?
This is going to be big on Pasha. Bialy still hasn't gotten his hands on another gun, but that's okay, because Pasha's dealing so much damage. But not as much as Smith's. 2 headshots on the retake. Quick move up from Catwalk. And just like that, G2 back into control of the situation. But good, valiant effort there from Pepito. So much damage with that scout, but he just can't finish the kills. Not on the second player in. And it's curious to me that whole time, Bialy's on the bomb site with him, but what happened to Kenny S's gun? Because he died on ramp. So it was never picked up in the process.
I actually don't know about that. That's a good point. Well, VP, they would have loved a couple more guns in this round. It's Neo and Morels down on Deegs. 3 AKs. Again, that long smoke in, but it's only a bait because Shox is actually flanking up through short. And actually, he's caught the timing just perfectly. Seconds after they move up, but they will continue to move up because Pasha's already killed Kenny S on the site. Shox is going to wait for the double back from Morels, and that will come through, but Morels didn't see him. Shox, oh, maybe he did. He's waiting. Shox, there we go, does drop the bomb, and that's a big kill. He doubles it, Bialy's gone as well, and Shox with all his shots to drag G2 through. It's only Pasha left up. The player to find a kill in this round, and he's hiding in the pit wondering where it all went wrong.
Imagine if Morels had just extended a little bit further. Had he spotted him outside of long, I don't believe he had the bomb at that time. And even if he did, it wouldn't have been so bottlenecked and choked up. Pasha's going to have to pull one out of the hat. 45 seconds to play as well. He's not going to be able to just sneak out, grab it, and go.
They could do this all day.
Now that he's thrown out the smoke, you know it's just going to be gunfire.
He's thinking maybe I can make them waste all their ammo.
He's going to get another kill towards the bomb site at the very least, catching out Existence, but again, right, he doesn't have the bomb. Oh, they're going to boost a man in the corner.
Oh, dear. Does this count as bullying?
You can't bully Pasha. He'll snap you in half.
Well, for now, he's not going to snap anyone. He is saving in the pit, and you know G2 want to check it out. They are going hunting here. This is probably not the best save position, but maybe they won't check it. Nope, yes they will. And after time, always the worst way to go down. Smiths will clean up that round. And a sigh of frustration from Pasha, I barely blame him. They put up a fantastic fight on Mirage, bringing us to such a close game, but the heat was too much to handle here on Dust.
I love that moment where you see Shox who just wants to run away. I got a kill, go. And then he realizes, oh, that's the bomb. And he flicks back.
Oh,
and now Kenny S is going to flick as well. If dying after time was an insult enough, take a bullet to the brain. They still have smokes and a double flashbang here for Virtus Pro, but it is G2 certainly gunning for 15 rounds, and that would lead VP to need 10 consecutive when we have seen barely anything from this T side.
And Kenny, he's back in again. Second kill with the AWP. The nade keeps VP honest, and More than that, it keeps them back. It allows them to move forward. Unfortunately, the flashbang is well timed from the T side, so that's now opened up an opportunity. Problem is, Shox is on the site. Headshot angle with an AK, but he can't land any kills. They're getting dangerously close. He sees Mihu, but he can't finish off the frag. Shox finally, not even taking one. It's Smiths from down below. And with both of them falling, the bomb plant comes in, but the retake will be absolutely no problem because they only have pistols and they're already tagged up.
Yeah, there it is. Clean and easy. Once they're able to get that Molotov down, burn the remaining Ts out into the open. I mean, at the very least, there's a bomb plant. That's what they're shooting for. Some money to try and make this 10-round comeback happen, but if not, it is VP as the second casualty here in Valencia. Spanish Giants fall first. Virtus.pro are now primed to lose as well. I would have never have expected this matchup in the bottom of Group B. But unfortunately for Virtus.pro, that is the situation that has unfolded here. They will have equipment in the 21st round of Dust 2. As alluded to, 10 in a row is needed, Hugo. It's not impossible, but it's not looking good.
Body pressured up on long, it's no problem. It's going to be able to find Bialy quickly. Shox somehow bursts the second player, and it is a shooting gallery here in the doors. Dust 2 is looking to be finished up, swept under the rug. Only 2 players can stop that from happening, Pasha and Morels. One of the most experienced players for VP, and he is gone. Morels, the new boy on the block, has to save the day, but we are 1 kill away from an elimination for the Polish roster.
Would still leave AGO, and that is all that will remain from Poland because Virtus.pro sent packing here in Valencia. G2 have managed to win out on Virtus.pro's map choice despite a decent showing. We saw a sign of life from VP. Individually speaking, they looked better on Mirage. Once we swapped to Dust 2, the French did what the French do, and they straight up won that match.
Yeah, again, VP not experienced on this map at all. That was the second time they've played it since its reintroduction to the map pool, and it's clearly showing. Whereas we've had G2, a new roster, clearly try and define their map pool and show that they can be the best on Dust. They did trial versus Astralis and brought them to an overtime game in Cologne, and that was already reminiscent of something pretty strong for this French roster, and now we are seeing them do it once again. Defeating VP, sending them packing, as you say, Connor, and we have got G2 back in business.
Yeah, I mean, it's not going to be an easy matchup, I think. Luminosity obviously having already dropped them right into the lower side of their group, and so now that it's going to be a grudge match, and I think it's going to be a good one. But what's nice as well is, remember, Luminosity fall to fragsters, so they themselves are not invincible, despite being injected with talent in that core of what was the Krakow Immortals. I do think that's going to be one hell of a game later today.
And that will be brought by Harry and Risk. Our time here is done on day number 2. But before Harry and Risk, let's throw it over to our analysts to see how they thought that game went.
You know, the first map was a little bit more, how do I say this? More of a competitive map. But then the second one, you could tell right then and there, the G2, they were in the driver's seat.
It's taught like a Torga, that first map, wasn't it? She back and forth.
Like a Torga.
Taught like a Torga. Oh. Hey, Trace, is the Macarena Spanish? You know everything about this place.
Macarena? And I don't know everything about this place, but I will say that I know what the Macarena is.
It's a vintage dance. But speaking of people who will be dancing tonight, probably G2. Well, wait, they have to play another game. Yeah, they have to play another match. But look, that second map was very clinical in their approach. I think the rounds where it was actually closer was when they were versing pistols, so that's when it's a bit more scrappy. Yeah. You can see the system really working wonders for Kenny. In interviews, he said that he thinks he'd play better in a team with a system as opposed to force buying. 2 reasons for that. 1, you get an ult more often than not. And second of all, you know where you need to be looking and your teammates have you covered. And we're definitely seeing that come to fruition with this in this roster. And it's a good sign for G2 that that second map could be easy. Mirage even taking the win there. It did get very dicey, but this isn't a map historically that a lot of these players have been very good on or have been finding much success throughout the history of CSGO. So having them be able to take the win here versus VP, who came out hot, fantastic signs. I think maybe a silver lining for VP, Trace, I know you're going to ask for one, was Bialy was playing very well. He was having a very good impact throughout.
But it does take 5, Chad. It does take 5 guys playing.
Pasha had his moments in Dust 2 as well, some nutty shots coming out from him. But here's the thing, you pointed out all the great stuff which G2 did in both these maps, but on Dust 2 especially, and I think it started with the final round on Mirage, where it was a 2v4
Body,
or something, and Body got 4 kills, but 3 of them were not even looking his direction after he got the first kill, right? And that kind of just continued on Dust 2, running out of smokes. They weren't able to hold short at all, and G2 was abusing that, and such an experienced roster like VP not able to adapt to that fact over 15 rounds, that's quite abysmal.
And I know we have the stats loaded up from Dust 2 here, but we can kind of take a big picture overview and take a look at some of G2 stats here. Across the entirety of this best of 3, which encompasses 2 maps in Dust 2 and Mirage, Shox was rocking 101.9 ADR.
I don't want to... those stats just there on the screen for everybody at home, they would have just been the Mirage stats because it was so close. But that wasn't the amalgamation of both. Maybe they're still getting calculated. We have, you know, databases, computers, technology.
Well, I did it all in my head.
Oh, you did it?
Yeah.
I knew you were good with numbers. I didn't know you were that good.
I'm as good as numbers as this next gentleman is with the AWP. That would be Kenny S., my friend.
Hi, guys.
Hey, Guy. How's it going, bud?
Great so far.
So far? All right, so walk us through Mirage right away. That was a little bit closer of a map.
Yeah, Mirage is never easy for us. We've been struggling to play it for a while now. Our map pool is pretty weak so far. We had like 3 weeks preparation for Cologne and this event. So it has been pretty hard to have a decent map pool, I would say. So yeah, map like Mirage are a bit of a struggle for us, but we're happy that we managed to stay focused. And despite the fact that we lost many stupid rounds, we managed to stay focused.
So I just have a question. I just touched on it before we put you on the headset, and I remember either reading or hearing something along the lines of you thought you would play better under a system. Are you feeling that way now? Are you feeling more comfortable under existence in-game leadership as opposed to the previous iteration of G2?
Well, I do, but what is the most important for me in this team is that we found chemistry. Chemistry we haven't found for years now. We are happy to play together. I'm also happy to play CS, and it's been a while. So yeah, I think despite the fact that we have a minor and major issue in the team, we still can fix it because of the chemistry and the fact that we are already experienced and we like each other. So it's much easier to speak to each other. So yeah, I think I'm overall really happy to play in this team, and that's why I'm playing a bit better.
All right, my question would be, like, considering your performance in Cologne, right? You guys were looking pretty impressive, of course. Unfortunately, losing out to, I think it was Astralis and Big.
Big, yeah.
Big and Astralis, right? Yeah. But coming to this event, you were one of the last teams to be announced, and you are kind of favorites here, right? So does that kind of, how's the team taking that? Are you guys like pumped up to kind of take the win of this tournament, or are you guys feeling a little bit of pressure, probably overthinking things a little bit, maybe?
No, I mean, we're obviously favorite of the tournament with North and Heroic, but as I said earlier, we've had a small preparation for Cologne in Valencia, so Cologne was great, but we saw that reaching the best of 3 was a bit harder for us due to our weak map pool. It's probably going to be the same for this event, but I mean, preparation is not everything. So we're confident. And we're gonna have to win later today.
All right. You've got one more best of 3 to power through, Kenny. But I can imagine you and your team are going to go head on to the High Castle and try to put this one together so that you guys can come back even stronger in the next show. And Kenny, thank you for your time and congratulations again. We'll see you later today.
Thanks.
Now, guys, I kind of want to bring this one also full circle. I think ever since, if I have to go all the way back to 1996, actually a year that wasn't quite a bit of Counter-Strike. And I don't, were you alive, Blay?
I was.
Yeah, I think you're our age.
We were like 7 or 8.
Okay.
I was 9.
Well, with that being said, where I'm going with this is Mission Impossible. There's a new sequel coming out here, Mission Impossible Fallout. Make sure you go to theaters, you watch that movie, you enjoy that movie, and then you write a good Rotten Tomatoes review about it.
You got to be a critic to do that, right?
No, everyone's a critic. Everyone's got an opinion.
Like us?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we get paid for ours, so maybe you can too if you go watch the Mission Impossible movie. I don't know that correlation, but I feel like it makes sense, Trace.
Yes, indeed. I do believe that does it for us talking about G2 versus Virtus Pro. which does set us up for North versus Ago. And that is going to be taking place. Our third best of 3 of the day will be coming up after the break, an elimination match, and one of these teams will be heading on to the semifinals tomorrow. Make sure you're here with us when we come back.